Hello, so a few weeks ago I went to a clothing swap and I thought it'd be cool to show you what I got and then what I ended up doing with it. So the first thing that I got was this skirt, and I picked it up mainly because it had an asymmetrical hem and I thought that was really cool. I also really like the sort of triangle pattern bits like in between it. It was just something unique that I'd not seen before. However, it's a size 8 and I'm definitely not a size 8. So what I did, I ripped out the side seam of that skirt and I took a bit of black fabric that I already had and sewed that as like a triangle shape into that skirt, making it a bit wider. I also put the zipper from the skirt back in so I could get it on and off and all that. Once that was done, the skirt fit, which is great. I remembered I had I've got an embroidery foot for my sewing machine, which basically lets you sew in any direction. It kind of lets you like draw with your sewing machine. Oh my god, that's so cool. What? Oh my god! I had a go at doing it on like the triangle part that I'd sewed in, but because the fabric was stretchy, it made it bunch and it didn't really work. I wanted to emulate the fabric at the bottom of the skirt, like the blue pattern part. So what I ended up doing was sewing a pattern with those colourful threads onto like the belt ribbon part that the skirt came with. And it did work, to be fair, it looked alright. However, my sewing machine started making like a clunky noise, which made me a bit nervous, so I stopped. But overall, I'm happy with it. It's a nice little detail for the skirt. At least I know it's there. So yeah, I'm happy with how the skirt looks. It's like a bit witchy, which I quite like. It still is like a little bit lumpy and baggy around the waist, but I think once I've like washed it a few times, it might shrink, and if it doesn't, I'll just hand sew it back together. So the next thing that I got was a green baggy shirt, and I mainly picked it up because I like the pattern and the fabric. It's a bit floral, I like it. However, I just think it's a bit too baggy, and I wanted to wear it as like a more fitted shirt. So to fix that, I popped it on inside out. I pinned whereabouts I want it to be taken into, and then once I'd taken it off, I drew like a rough shape of a shirt onto it with chalk. I pinned that in place, tried it on, took it off, tried it on until I had it how I liked it, and then I just sewed that all together. And that was it for the shirt. It was a quick fix, and I really like how it turned out. It's still like a bit flowy, but we're getting into summer, and I can always take it in if, you know, I fancy later on. Item number 3 was another shirt. I grabbed it because I like the colours. They feel quite sort of autumnal, if you will. And you can never have too many like open overshirts, I think. I didn't want to do too much to it, so I thought I'd just do some embroidery on it. And I have this pattern that I made a few months ago of a deathhawk moth. And I initially used it to crochet a bandana, but I wanted to see what it would look like sort of as cross stitch. Plus I thought like the colours of the moth went well with the shirt. So I stitched that sort of on the top of the shirt, but I forgot how long embroidery takes. So this took, I thought it was going to be a quick project like the shirt before, but it took like 2 seasons of line of duty to get it done. But overall, I really like it. I like sort of how the yellow outlines the moth. I think that works well. I do want to embroider more moths onto this shirt so it can be my taxonomy shirt. Taxonomy? The study of moths. I just, yeah, want some more moths on my clothes, but maybe not for a little while because of how long this embroidered moth took me. Item number 4 that I picked up was this hoodie, and it's ugly. I don't really like Mickey Mouse, and it's also overexposed in most of these video clips because it's white. I picked it up only because I needed white fabric because I made these dungarees back in 2020 and since then have put on a little bit of weight, which is fine, but they now don't fit and I spent ages making them, so I wanted to wear them. So what I did was I chopped into the hoodie fabric until it was just equal sized strips of fabric, and then I unpicked the seams of my dungarees that I'd made and I sewed the fabric in between the sides of the dungarees, so it's like a go faster racing stripe down the leg, and basically it just widened the legs so that I could get them on. The dungarees turned out really good and they are very comfortable now, and I'm glad I get to wear them again. So once I'd finished the dungarees, I realised I had a load of the extra white fabric from the hoodie and I didn't just want to put it to waste. So I thought I'd have a go at making a top out of it. I didn't really have any plan. I just kind of started draping the fabric over my dress form, pinning it in place and seeing kind of what it looked like. I tried it on a few times, had a go at sewing it. It kind of wasn't really going to plan and I didn't film much of it. I wasn't in a good mood and it took a lot longer to make than I expected. I added a zip though and a hood, and I think that was it. That was all I did. It's turned out really cute. I do like it. You know, with the hood it's quite sporty, which is alright, and the shoulder bits makes it look a bit sci-fi, I feel like, a bit maybe Star Trek. I am a bit worried about spilling drinks down it because I never wear white, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And yeah, that's the top I made. The last thing I got, which I'm mainly mentioning just because I think it's quite funny, is I picked up this briefcase mainly because I just like leather bags. I think it seemed like it was really good quality. You know, leather lasts a really long time, so I just thought I'd grab it. I looked up the brand online when I got home, and brand new, it's £700. Which is an insane amount of money to spend on anything. It's quite scuffed, so I think I'd look on eBay and they're not worth a lot resold, especially when they're like scuffed like this one is. But I just thought it was quite funny, and I think after my car, this is now the most expensive item that I own. And I'm gonna use it to death. So, and that was it. That was all the things that I got from the clothing swap. It was good, and you know, got some new bits to add to my wardrobe, which is already very full.